to this first class of AI, artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. We know that artificial intelligence is a disruptor in all industries, is a disruptor. And the people who are going to be lucky will be the first movers. Yeah, I explained to you and even I used an example of RCM during COVID times. We went really down. Actually, we almost closed. Some branches of ours were auctioned. But in this case here, COVID came to uplift most of us. Right now, the number of students that we have, there are so many. Our costs in this case here reduced drastically because we don't have in this case here physical, we don't have like physical colleges, we only have offices, a few offices. Yeah, that rent we used to pay heavily went down, and yet in this case here, the number of students grew. We used to photocopy, print past papers. We no longer do that. Everything is online. So the same case, ladies and gentlemen, with COVID, which disrupted the business, there are colleges which were not able to wake up post-COVID, and there are colleges which post-COVID did very well. The same case with this AI. It is a big disruptor. The accountant, of course, will not be replaced with the AI. No. We shall not be replaced with the AI, but any accountant who is very good with the AI will be, in this case here, the person replacing these other accountants. So AI, of course, is coming to complement our work in a way that any accountant who is good with the AI will be able to do now things much faster. Yeah, especially the routine things much faster, and we shall be able to get time now in this case here to do what here to dive into strategic thinking very well, because now AI will be able to take over most of these things. Now, I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, most of you have tried this AI before. What is your take? What is your experience with AI whenever it comes to making these financial statements, for example, from a trial balance? Is there anybody who has ever tried working with the AI like ChatGPT? You are given a trial balance, you give it a trial balance, and then tell it, give me an income statement, give me a statement of financial position, and then you give me a cash flow. Of course, if you have ever tried, it may have given you, very, very many correct things, but it could have given you a few errors here and there. True or false? True or false? Because like now, I always get people telling me that I can't go to AI because AI is so much erroneous. Yeah, Gadon is saying true, yes. It gives you errors. It gives you errors. Yeah, CPA Magi also is confirming the same. At times it gives you errors. Ladies and gentlemen, you are very right. Yeah. At times in this case here, this ChatGPT or any AI intelligence app, it will be able to make errors. They normally call these hallucinations. Yeah, that AI also can hallucinate, it can dream, especially when you give it incomplete data, and of course it is tasked with coming up with a solution. It will try to make some areas which were incomplete to be complete for purpose of giving you a solution. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you like what I've seen these big companies doing with this AI. Even if it gives you errors, the very first year that you work on to produce your financial statements, AI uses what we call machine learning concepts here. What you need to do, you just get whatever it gives you, right? Take it to Excel, give it to these young men and the women who you work with in the office, plus yourself. The very first year, try to ensure that you correct all errors as possible. And then, of course, as you correct the errors, you're feeding this into artificial intelligence. You're feeding this into AI. You're telling ChatGPT that, hey, this opening balance had an error. And now it's supposed to be like this. You guide it. You talk to it. Speak to it. If it does the first working correctly, yeah, the moment you get the first one correctly, this machine learns. In the subsequent assignments, especially if you use the template approach, which I'll be teaching you, yeah, ensure that you are following the same routines. This thing will never make errors. Will never make errors. All right. So I was supposed to do this class for only 30 minutes, and I would want us, ladies and gentlemen, to open our ChatGPT. So simply go to any browser. You browse, you are looking for a browser here. Yeah, let's look for any browser there. Give us, in this case here, ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT, it's already here for my case. Yeah, so I want this ChatGPT, great. Yeah, yeah. So we have our scratch pad, we have our asking pad here. So what I would want us to do, I would want us to look at a situation where ChatGPT is able to make for us a cash flow statement using both the direct method and the indirect method, cash flow. All right. So then you guys were able to save the document. So the document, I'll come and attach it here. You can either attach a photo or any file, just attach it here. First of all, I would want to know whether you've been able to open your ChatGPT. I'm so sure most of you are still using ChatGPT 3.0, which will still work pretty well. We should be able to use it pretty well. But of course, as we get along, I'll be able to convince all of you that you need to be paying the $20 every month. You'll see value, especially if you're working, you have to pay the $20, yeah, every month to jump from ChatGPT 3 to ChatGPT 4.0. The 4.0, the paid version, has more capabilities, Please, you have to talk to me, tell me whether you've been able to get this prompt. Yeah, please. Have you been able? It doesn't matter that it's ChatGPT 3.0 or 4.0. Are we together? Have you been able to reach here? I don't want to leave anybody behind. I don't want to leave anybody behind. There is no leaving of any person behind. We are moving together. Great. I reshare, no problem. Let me reshare. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I reshare, what do you need for you to be able to construct a cash flow statement for your company? For you to construct a cash flow for your company, you need an income statement for, yeah, you must create an account, Jane, yes. You must sign up. You must sign up. Or if you had created an account, then you log in using your email address and using your password. So I've reshared there, and I'll be able to move here. So you need the most current income statement. So if I'm doing a cash flow statement for 2024, yeah, so I need income statement for 2024. But balance sheet, I will need balance sheet for this year and last year. We call them statement of financial positions. We need both for 2 years. Yeah, you'll need 2024 balance sheet and 2023 balance sheet because of the changes. So then come here. Yeah, I hope you've told them to stop sharing because this class is coming to an end. All right, so here we are. So then come and attach photos and the files. You guys must have saved this one as a cash flow PDF. You can also save a Word document. You can save, you can attach an Excel file here like that. You can see it is attaching here. Yeah. So in this case here, you simply give it instructions from the attached. Give me a cash flow statement using indirect method. We start with the indirect method. Please put your prompt there. Yeah, and remember you can use just whichever language there. You don't have to be like very fluent in English, nothing. Don't be cheated by anybody. So from the attached, remember how does the attached, by the way, look like? The attached looks like this. This is how the attached looks like. Yeah. So we have here, the company is called Bugs Company. They have given us income statement for 20XX. Yeah. Revenues up to net income. Then we have additional notes, description, dividends paid during the year, 99. New machinery purchased, 135. Proceeds from disposal of machinery, 18. The Bugs company statement of financial position, you can see for the current year and for the previous year. Statement of financial position, they must give us for the current year and for the previous year and for the previous year. So then we have everything that we need. Everything that we need. But first of all, I would want to ensure that you guys are comfortable. I would want to ensure that you guys have been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached. Where Mwalimu has reached. Have you been able to attach these here? And have you been able to say from the attached, give me a cash flow? Even if I said the grammar doesn't have to be perfect, but cash should be cash flow using indirect method. Yeah, using direct method. And it will be good, it can easily give you cash flow using the US GAAP. Just mention here IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, to fix it. The only problem that I have with you, my good students, I'm not getting feedback. Even one student. Do we have any student who has been able to attach that document? Like the way Mwalimu has attached it. And have they been able to give me a prompt? Out of 65, even if I'm a lousy teacher, I expect at least 10 people should have reached where I have reached, or even 3 students to ask a question. Yeah. So from the attached, yeah, thank you so much. So then once you finish doing like this, then what you need to do is simply to come and take this prompt to the search engine. Yeah, here. You simply click there. Yeah, you can see it's doing abracadabra. Based on the provided financial data for the Bugs company, here is the cash flow statement using the indirect method formatted per IFRS as per IAS 7. IAS 7. So you can see the Bugs company statement of cash flows, indirect method for the year ended XX. All figures are in US dollars. So you can see cash flows from operating activities. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, income tax paid, in this case here, estimated. So, it is telling you that fine, there is a problem because you never gave it. In this case here, a prompt, or rather you never gave it, for example, a percentage for income tax, but estimated. Net cash flows from operating activities, you can see the figure there. Cash flows from indirect activities, all right? So you can see it is coming there. Then we have cash flows from financing activities coming on very well. So net increase in cash and cash equivalents, 177. Cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year, 261. So it is telling you things may not be okay because there are estimations. So it is giving you, in this case, an opportunity to give it more information. Note the closing cash balance in the statement of financial position shows 195. So the reconciling difference may be due to rounding, estimation of tax paid, or timing effects. Adjustments can be made accordingly if precise details are provided. Would you like me to also generate the direct method? Yeah, but first of all, before I go ahead to show you like what you need to tell it for it to reconcile, because the reconciliation I'm looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is the reconciliation of cash. If you look at your assets, if you look at your current assets here, cash, we have here cash and cash equivalents. We are supposed to start from 84. We end up at 195. 84, we end up at 195. Let me just look around. Yeah, we look around. In this case here, tax for the year, we have tax for the year. It is 100 what year? 86. So in this case here, of course, what we could be missing will be tax for. But first of all, before I continue, could there be a single student who has been able to have their ChatGPT giving them, ladies and gentlemen, like the correct reconciled amount? Any student who could have attached this and their ChatGPT has given them the reconciling, from 84 to 195. There must be somebody. Perhaps in this case, they have done reconciliations before. Their machines have already learned this. There must be somebody whose cash flows have reconciled. Like Alfred Miner has raised. I've taught this several, so I know. Alfred Miner has raised their hand that mine has reconciled. Yeah, mine has reconciled. Mine has reconciled. Mine has reconciled. How about the other ninjas, ladies and gentlemen? Is there somebody who is getting? Let me first of all see how many, because I can see, I can see, I can see. Yeah. So beginning cash is 84, ending cash is what here? Yeah. Great. You can see in this case here, the answer has been able to reconcile. So don't in this case here, first of all, go making what here? Go making suggested, no. Go back to ChatGPT because you're doing it at the very beginning. CPM WIT has already done it. We are doing it at the very beginning. We expect in this case here, there to be a few errors here and there. I've told you we are using what we call machine learning. Go back to your ChatGPT. Tell your ChatGPT that, like now mine, and of course, so many other students, in this case here, they have gotten others, other students have gotten, in this case, like myself here, their cash flow is not reconciling. So tell ChatGPT that my practical question does not have any error. You disagree first. Does not have any error. So ensure that the cash flow reconciles between opening cash balance, and closing cash balance. The error I saw there is that they estimated tax. Don't estimate tax. Don't estimate tax. Don't estimate tax since it is provided. It is provided in the income statement. It is learning. First, you may have used this AI to do so many things. The first one that you do, you could easily get into a few errors here and there. But the moment now you start uploading now for the subsequent years, the moment you correct the first one, and then now the first one is very correct, the subsequent years, it will learn. It's called machine learning. Income statement. All right. So there we are. So you can see, thank you. Based on your instruction, I've recalculated the bag's company's cash flow statement strictly using the provided figures with no estimations and ensures it reconciles accurately between opening and the closing what year balances. Yeah. 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 Nope. So it is still telling me a reconciliation confirmed 84 plus 177, 261, which agrees with the change in the cash balance between the opening and the closing figures in the statement of financial. I'll not still agree with it because I know, ladies and gentlemen, that if you look at this cash flow, we can see the cash balance. We can see the cash balances. They are here in the assets. The cash balances are 84 and 195. All right. Now you're still trying to see things are not adding up. All right. Yeah. So in this case, you tell it that from the balance sheet given, all right, the closing balance, the closing cash balance is 185. Is 185. So tell it, run it again. Correct this. And let me know the mistake that you did. The mistake that you did. And you will see when we go to the subsequent year, once it has learned, it can never make a mistake. And I'll be able to prove that. Aha, so enter there. And I hope you guys are also. Yeah, in my previous calculation, I incorrectly stated the closing cash balance as 261. which does not match the correct figure from the statement of financial position, where opening cash and cash equivalents is 84, closing cash and cash equivalents is 195. So you see, it was sensing a wrong figure. All right. So we have here, so the correct net increase in this, like that. So corrected cash flow, indirect method. So in this case here, what do we have here? Yeah. So reconciliation confirmed at 195. It's always good to tell it, to summarize the mistakes. Mistakes it has to tell us. And mistakenly calculate the net increase in cash as 177, caused by not verifying the actual closing balance from the balance sheet. The correct net sales etc. Let me know if you'd like an Excel template to be created. Now, even after it balances, the very first one that you do, even after it balances, you still have to convert this to Excel, and then you sit down with your entire finance team. You sit down with your entire finance team to ensure that everything is casting. Yeah, the very initial statements that you do, they may not be that accurate. So sit down with your entire team and ask yourselves, in this case here, is this thing really casting? Is it okay? Yeah. So of course, now your finance team and yourself will be able to ensure that the first one tallies with what you are done manually. Once it tallies with what you are done manually, return the same to ChatGPT 4.0. And then now tell this AI that this is the correct, in this case here, cash flow statement. All right. Try to give it as many prompts as possible that the correct, this is wrong, the net cash flows even from investing activity are not right. It's supposed to be like that. Now the subsequent year, if you are doing for 2024. Now 2025, once you put on board the template, everything now will be correct. We'll start now doing everything correct with this AI. So as we start our today's session, I would want to tell you that there is work to be done, especially with what here, with the very fast calculations that you do. You have to be very, very careful. But now moving forward, everything will be very, very correct. Now, come here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So of course you have finished, in this case here, the indirect approach. So come here and tell it that, I would like a cash flow, on the basis of, or rather using the direct method. Yeah, the one you tell us in this case here, cash received from customers, cash paid to customers. So I would like a cash flow using the direct method here. All right, use the attached. No. Cash flow. PDF. Just be easy with your prompts. If it doesn't recognize it, you attach again. So the Bugs Company statement of cash flows, we are using the direct method. So cash received from customers, cash paid to suppliers, etc. Just be patient with it. You are doing this for the very first time. Be patient with it. So you can see this time round, we have your net increase in cash and cash equivalents, opening cash and cash equivalents 84, closing cash and cash equivalents 195. And I'm telling you, even if it reconciles like this, if this is the very first time you're entering this information in your system, never believe this 100%. It hallucinates a lot. It dreams a lot. So you still have to take this and cast it on your Excel. So ladies and gentlemen, we shall be able to use this bank reconciliation, or rather this AI, to do bank reconciliations with a lot of accuracy. We shall be able to use this AI to draft with a lot of accuracy audited reports, to do sampling. So this course that we are starting tonight at 8 p.m., which will be running exactly for 1 month, you'll be surprised. It is really worthwhile. because you can't sit pretty wherever you are thinking that everything is okay. I will still emphasize as I close this, AI is a disruptor. Is a disruptor of industries. It is a disruptor of professions. Even how we teach CPA in the next 2, 3, 4 years, everything must change. Because AI now, I'm able to use AI, for example, to come up with journals with a lot of accuracy, which I'll be able to show you. So why should I be in class teaching people that when you want to do generalization, you must remember pairs, purchases, expenses, assets, you debit, revenue, liability, share capital, you credit. No, that space has been taken over by what here? By AI. That space has been taken over by AI. All right. So we shall be using ChatGPT and what we call cloud. ChatGPT and the cloud. Initially, I don't want you to go for the paid versions, but of course, as we progress, I'll be able to prove to you, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to go for the paid ChatGPT and even the paid cloud. Cloud is CLAUDE. UDE. And I'm happy to see that there are so many organizations like NCCK that have paid for their employees. We have in this case here some audit firms that have paid this for this course. I mean, the entire accounting finance team, they are joining. Yeah, it is the way to go. It is the way to go. All right. It is the way to go. You'll be able to see, like, for example, if it is ratio analysis, this thing will be able to, I mean, with little interventions, it will be able to produce very accurate reports. Very accurate reports. Otherwise, I simply wanted to do like a 20 minutes session with you. You can see with family, I'm walking around. I like this nature walks, right? I don't want to steal their time. I think I've given you, in this case, some kind of exposure. Yeah. So even if you never understood how these cash flows were being done in CPA, you don't, I mean. Thank you so much, Alfred. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you so much. So see you today at 8 p.m. Remember, the course is costing 7,500. We have, in this case, here, ladies and gentlemen, this offer, which is ending today, where you pay 5,000 and then you get to join. The timetable, the class will be running on Mondays, Saturdays, Sundays. From what time to what time? 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. For more information, 0793 555 000. Any student who got help loans with us, students who got help loans with us, we have already been able to open a space within WhatsApp where we shall be interacting. You guys will be able to learn this thing for free, for free, for free. So I hope to have all of you as my AI students. Don't be left behind. It's a 1-month course, 1-month course. For more information, call this number 0793 555 000. 0793 555 000. Vinny, thank you so much. See you today at 8 p.m. Yeah, payment details, the person who is inboxing me, our payment pay bill is 6242 839. 6242 839. Account, you simply write artificial intelligence or just artificial or AI. We'll be able to pick you from there. Great. Let's run this game together in our favor. Trust you me, this is a disruptor. Thank you. See you later. Bye. We shall issue certificates at the end of the course. We shall issue a completion certificate, no exams. The best way of saying you have passed your exam is to understand what you are teaching. No exam to be given. We shall have certificates. Thank you so much, CPA Francis.